Why is the Battlefield 2042 beta so damn buggy? Why can't players log in to play despite it now being open to everyone? Why is the performance so unpredictable? Where's the comma rows or the missing UI elements? Well, they aren't there because this beta is months old. But to many, that comment comes across as damage control, and honestly, I have no solution to that. The only way we'll find out whether it's true or not is by waiting until November and playing the full game. In the meantime though, maybe this video can help some of you wrap your heads around the whole concept of what this beta actually is, but more importantly, what this beta isn't. First though, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but a huge thank you to NVIDIA and Scan Computers for sponsoring today's video. I've squatted up with the lovely folks at NVIDIA and Scan Computers to show off NVIDIA Reflex during the Battlefield 2042 beta. You can enable NVIDIA Reflex in the video options menu in-game as shown here. But what is it? Well, NVIDIA Reflex is an option that reduces system latency in GPU-bound scenarios. This means there is less delay from your input device, such as your mouse, meaning much quicker reaction times and more precise aiming. NVIDIA DLSS 2.0 is also coming to Battlefield 2042 at launch. This AI learning technology boosts your frame rates significantly while retaining close to the native image resolution. Keep an eye out for performance benchmarks as we draw closer to the game's full release. Scan are one of the UK and Ireland's biggest suppliers of NVIDIA hardware, including the sought-after RTX 300 series GPUs, along with laptops and insane monitors. Check out Scan's range of 360Hz G-Sync IPS monitors, the world's fastest refresh rate monitor hand-tuned for competitive titles. Combined with Reflex, the latency is super minimal. Follow the links below, and thanks again to NVIDIA for sponsoring a couple of my videos, and you lads too, of course, for getting me into this extremely lucky position. So thank you. But anyway, back to the video. DICE producer Ben Walke shared some really interesting insight into the behind the scenes on Battlefield game development last night. I have also put together this lovely graphic on screen to help guide us through my interpretation of what Ben is referring to. Here is what he said. Quote, "This is a super simplistic version and doesn't do justice to the work involved. It's the nature of software development. We work in branches. So while we have our launch day branch, any spin-offs like betas, demos, E3s, Gamescom, etc. all get created from it. The beta was taken a few months ago from our main build, and from there you then go into hardening mode. This is where you focus on bugs, stability, and no further work should get checked in. With each check-in comes the risk of new issues coming up, as is the case with software development. We're making so many changes to the build, so you have to make a call between locking the build or stopping active development. We don't want to stop development on our launch build, so you have to cap the branched build, in this case the beta, at a specific time. This won't be unique to us, this is how the industry will operate as a whole. The same thing will happen to release builds the closer a studio gets to launch. It gets locked down and then the hardening process begins. Worth noting as well, with the dates changing, it just makes the build older, etc. Now, this is why nowadays a game goes gold weeks before launch, because in those weeks the game goes through certification on different platforms, the different launch platforms essentially, to make sure it works as intended. Usually work actually carries on, however, as this certification process begins, and that typically takes the form of the infamous Day 1 patch. So why is the Battlefield 2042 beta so buggy? Well, it's been confirmed now that the beta was originally intended to go live at the end of September. That means work presumably began a couple of months before then, maybe sometime around June. That means we're playing a 3 to 4 month old version of the game with bugs and glitches that have probably been fixed ages ago. Again, I'm trying to be hopeful here, but the only real way we'll know if any of this is true is by playing the full release in November. It's mainly a question of trust at this point, isn't it? You can either be hopeful that the beta is no longer a clear reflection of the state the main branch of the game is in, which is what we're being led to believe. Or you can remain a little bit more skeptical, base your decision solely on the beta performance and gameplay, and go into November with low expectations. Neither is right or wrong, they're both perfectly viable options, it's just personal preference at the end of the day. What I'm hearing is that things are actually looking very good internally, but again, I want to believe when I'm told these things, but it isn't like developers are going to tell us the game is actually rubbish. Either way, I've enjoyed the beta a lot. It might actually be the first Battlefield beta I've enjoyed playing from the very first round. The bugs are annoying sometimes, but I have to say, I haven't run into many issues at all. The worst being the hit reg sometimes, where enemies sort of teleport around the map. My game hasn't crashed, the performance is pretty solid, and overall I'm having a lot of fun. I just really hope the confidence we're seeing from developers online is a clear reflection of how the game is, and that it's polished and optimized for launch. But anyway, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Have you got into the beta? Are you enjoying the beta? Do you hate the beta? I want to hear all of this feedback, and maybe in some shape or form EA will hear it too. For more Battlefield 2042 content though, tickle that subscribe button, I would really appreciate that. Until the next one though, I'll see you lads later.